Paul, I'll start by thanking Almighty Lord for enabling us to see the day for today, because not every other individual has seen this day. It's just by the grace of Lord. That's why we have seen this day. So I go by the name Farm with Maxwell. That's my YouTube channel name. But I personally, I go by the name Maxwell Lumumba. So that's my real name. But they relate, yeah, to my channel name, so that there is no any major difference. As you can see, the way my title is reading, Unexpected Return to the Village, because to me, it wasn't something easy happened, because that's why I have live for today, because I've canceled a lot of lives. Yeah, I was to go live some other day, but I never went. So far I've canceled around 2 to 3 lives. Yeah, because of personal challenges which are concern about my health. Because and I'll tell you what happened to this video today, so that people can get knowing what happened to me when I went to benchmarking in Eldoret. Yeah, I'll state that. For today we are going just to talk about something unexpected happened. Yeah, and I'll clarify what really happened. Because when you look at me, you can see my eyes are red, some pimples in my face. I don't look I don't look happy as normal. Yeah, and I'll just tell you what happened to me in that trip, so that we can know what happened to me. It wasn't an easy thing. Yeah, I'm just making something here so that then we proceed. Yeah, it wasn't an easy thing, because I traveled from the village to Eldoret. That was last week, to do what we call benchmarking, and that's one of the reason why I had to travel. Is just about benchmarking. Another reason that I had to travel is just something about learning new techniques. Yeah, you know, in this field, like me, I've volunteered to help the community when it comes to this something about farming. Yeah, I volunteered. I'm just doing that for free in the community. So I went to do benchmarking so that I can come back to the community with a lot of knowledge about this farming, how people do farming in, let's say, Eldoret is not the way people do farming here in the village, because we can't take the whole village to Eldoret so that they can learn. But me just representing them to Eldoret means a lot of things to me, to them. So that means it's just about learning. Yeah, because one thing I like doing is about learning. And me going to Eldoret, that means I was just going to do what we call networking. Yeah, you network with other farmers so that you learn something new. You learn how technology advances in terms of farming nowadays. So that's the reason why I headed to Eldoret. Yeah, and when I reached there, I did some farm visit. Yeah, the first day I entered Eldoret, I can see Leah Maria. Hello to Leah Maria. I can see you here. Welcome. Let's watch this live so that you know what happened to me when I went to benchmarking in Eldoret. So I went to Eldoret as normal, because I usually come out of the village around 7 a.m. in the morning. By 6 a.m. I'm always in Eldoret so that I can start the day from there. So where are you from? I'm from Kenya, Isibania village. Actually, I'm from Kenya, Isibania village. There is where I'm live from, yeah? And for today, I'm just going to talk about what was happening to me when I went for a benchmarking, yeah, in some place in Kenya called Eldoret, because a lot of people have not seen me in the camera. I had a lot of challenges, because you can see my eyes. I'm just looking like somehow blind, yeah. I can see Manjet, Dillion. Hello, how are you doing, bro? Okay, hello too. welcome to this live. I really appreciate for joining this live. So I was talking about the reason why I had to go to all the way to Eldoret so that I do a benchmarking when it comes to animal keeping. I can see Nasir Baig. Hello brother, I'm in India. Yes, I'm in Kenya. I come live from Kenya. Brother. I can see Menjet Dillion. You tell me you're about. Yeah, I'm a YouTuber from Isibania village in Kenya. There is where I'm located. My YouTube channel does all about animals because I'm passionate about these animals, because I myself, I don't keep animals, but I have passionate about that animal. But I usually tell my audience, yeah, one day, one time I'll be keeping these animals, because when I talk about animals, I talk the likes of the livestock, yeah, the likes of dogs, cats, cattle, all animals. Yeah, can see sexy hot graphic studio. Hello from UK. Hello to sexy graphic. Yeah, so I was telling us that I come from Kenya. That is where I am right now, in a village called Isibania. And today I'm going to talk about what happened when I was in Eldoret, because I was in Eldoret some times back. I went for benchmarking. Now I'm back to the village unexpectedly. Yeah, it was just something like unexpected, unbelievable. Yeah, because I was to stay there for almost a week, but because how things happened, I fall ill. Even now I'm still sick. Yeah, I'm still sick, but I'm trying so that I can keep my audience on toes, because like today I was in the hospital. I went to test for brucella together with malaria, because in Kenya, you know, malaria is very prominent in Kenya. So the doctors suspected so much about malaria from my end. So they did those tests, then it turned negative for brucella and the other thing. So before I left Eldoret, I did another test. All the tests turned negative. I wasn't having any disease in my body, but I was given some medication so that I can take those medication. So I've been advised a lot of things on how to handle myself, on how to take maybe a journey like this. It's not an easy journey, but you know, in this content creation, you have to move from one place to another so that you can get content. I never knew this will affect my health. That's why you can see me in a very, very heavy sweater. I'm inside a very heavy sweater, but I'm still feeling cold as unexpected, because I'm not good in terms of health, because yeah, like in the morning I had a lot of headache. Yeah, my head was paining. I went to try sleeping, sleepiness never came. I went bought some painkillers. I took the painkillers, at least I felt somehow relieved. Yeah, because so far I've been to almost 4 hospitals since in this 1 week. Yeah, I've visited 4 hospitals just to see how my health status is, so that I can be satisfied about my health status, because your health comes first even before there is content creation, because yeah, it has to come first. Yeah, so when I was in Eldoret, it happened that I visited some farms. Luckily I visited some farms. I did some good videos from those farms. Some of them I've posted, some of them I've not posted, because of 1 2 3 reasons, because I'll tell you the reasons why I've not posted them. But I have some videos, almost 5 videos, that I'm supposed to post my trip to Eldoret, so that I can educate my audience what was happening in this Eldoret trip. Yeah, because people have seen me off the camera unexpectedly, because they knew me. I was posting videos every day. Yeah, but this week I've not been posting video because of health challenges. That's why I have this live for today. When you look on my post, yeah, you can see I've cancelled almost 5. Oh, I've cancelled the 2 lives. I was supposed to go 2 lives, like a day before yesterday was supposed to be having live, but I had to cancel it because of my health. Things were not good. Even for today, I was to cancel this live before I went to the hospital, but lucky enough, I was to the hospital. I was given some medicine, some painkiller, They did to me some tests so that they can justify my condition, the way I'm fearing, because because things are not good on my side. Yeah, that's the reality. Yeah, even though you see me in camera, but things are not good. Yeah, even if you check on my face. Yeah, this face is not the normal face that I usually have. Yeah, somebody can see me as a drunkard, but I'm not drunk. Yeah, I'm not drunk. I've not tested anything, but just about health problem because yeah, the way I said, I've been tested for malaria, I've been tested for pneumonia, something like I've been tested for uh, brucella. Nothing is happening. Yeah, because like today they injected me here. Yeah, they took blood sample from this part of my hand. Yeah, they took a blood sample from here. They placed in I think, yeah, they placed in they were doing what we call serum testing. Yeah, they took blood, they placed it inside the red vacutainer tube, and to make, maybe they took under something that we call centrifugal, yeah, something rotating this way, yeah, so that to separate my blood into two, yeah, so that the serum to be up and those other substances to be down, so that they can now take the sample from there and put somewhere in the lab so that they can analyze, yeah, what is this thing affecting my body. Yeah, so the results were out, nothing was found in my body. But me, up to now, I'm not feeling well, because even after this live won't stay for long, because yeah, the more I speak, the more headache it becomes, the more exhausted I become, the more I start feeling cold, shaking. So things are not good. Yeah, yeah, things are not good in my side. So I was talking about my journey to Eldoret, which was good. I had to come back because of the health issue. Another thing was about financial, because if maybe I could be sick from Eldoret, if I could be having money, I could sustain myself there. I couldn't travel back to the village so that I could take all my medication from there when I'm just stabilized. So I would have now come to the village, but I wasn't able to do that. Yeah, you can ask questions, yeah, because I'm talking while waiting for questions so that I can answer the questions to make this session actually interactive enough. Yeah, you know, the more we ask questions, the more interactive session it becomes, because you know, out of this audience, I know maybe there is a medic somewhere when I'm telling us about my history, yeah, how things happened. When I wake up, I'm feeling headache. Before I go to sleep, okay, during the night I'm sleeping well, no problems, yeah. But immediately when I'm up, I start feeling headache. My temperature's normal as usual, but headache in my head, yeah, which we call the snag. I had a snag, so just pushed, yeah. I pushed the day. It has been happening for me now. It is around now. It is 5 days. Yeah, this headache is not getting out of my head. Yeah, because I don't know what is happening to me. Because people have advised me a lot. Drink a lot of water. I've bought a lot of painkillers. I've drunk, because in Eldoret I was given a drug. Yeah, I don't know the drug by name, but I still have the drugs by me, because I was given some drugs so that I can consume those drugs. Yeah, I was given some drugs. I consumed the drugs, but those drugs were affecting me, because I took the drugs the first day. I was told immediately after taking supper, when you are going to sleep, make sure you take this drug. Yeah, there were 3 drugs, but none of the drugs were indicated. Which drug is this? Which drug is this? I can show you. Yeah, I can show us these drugs that I'm talking about. Yeah. Yeah, this is the packaging of the drugs. Yeah, you see what is written here. This is what is written. Yeah, it is written usiku. Yeah, usiku means take it during the night, 1 times 1. Yeah, no name for this drug. Yeah, that is the reason why I didn't proceed taking this drug, because there was a hidden agenda. Why do you give me a drug and yet you cannot clarify which type of drug are you giving me. Yeah, I was given this drug. This is how it looks like. Yeah, this is how it looks like. 1 times 1, and I was told to take it during the night. This is one of the drug. I'll put it aside. The next drug that I was given, yeah, with no names, yeah, 1 times 2, no name on top, yeah. So these raised a lot of questions to me. Why am I given drugs that I don't know? Which drugs are these? 1 times 2, which drugs is this? I'm not able to tell. Greetings from Kenya. This is Roger Skillia. Welcome, brother. This is one of the YouTuber. We can support him by subscribing to the YouTube channel. Yeah, thank you for liking. Thank you. Yeah, we can support Roger Skillia. This is one of the YouTubers from Kenya. So this is another drug that I was given with no. You can't tell which type of drug is this. Just 1 times 3. I was done. I don't know what I was swallowing. Yeah. The third drug, yeah, it is this one. 1 times 1, yeah. I don't know which drug is this that I'm taking, yeah. Thank you so much, host. How are you feeling today? My brother, things are not okay because I'm from the hospital during the afternoon. In the afternoon, I was in the hospital. I went to test for brucella and malaria, but it turned negative. So the doctor advised me otherwise, but I was given some other drugs, yeah, to take. I'll show you the drugs. I think that somewhere near me here, yeah. I'll show you the drugs that I was given. I've not taken them, yeah, but I'll be taking them because for those drugs, at least I'm aware what I'm going to take, yeah. So this is the drug that I was given. It is written still usiku, so that means this drug I'm supposed to take it before I sleep. Usiku in Kenya means night, yeah. I'm supposed to take it at night, and this is how the drug looks like, yeah. This is how the drug looks like. Then yeah, there is that other sachet, yeah. That other sachet belongs to this, and now this sachet that I've shown you usiku, this is the drug, yeah. I just took here one, I consumed here 2, and there I took 1 because of some reasons why I took. So once when I took this drug, you see this drug here, once I took this drug, this is what was happening. The first day when I took that drug, my body was cold, yeah. I just I woke up in the middle of night, then I started touching my head this way. It was cold. The head, my head was my head was doing what we call that thing that we call ta 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 ta. It was doing that way, yeah, but with no pain, yeah. Imagine you just feeling something like headache. You can hear only that sound of ta 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 in your head, but you don't feel any pain, yeah. Because to me, I judge that drug might be very strong for me because when I tried touching my body this way, I was feeling a lot of cold. When it touched my stomach, a lot of cold, yeah. So the next day was like, I'm no longer taking this drug, yeah. Let this stay, so I'll just advance. I can go buy painkillers to sustain me, maybe to push me through this journey from Eldoret back to the village, so that I can be back in the village. At least when I'm in the village, people can take care of me, because you know, when you are just back to where you came from in your motherland, so that means a lot of people can take care of you, as compared you are just in a foreign land, knowing, okay, you know some people, but those people maybe they're not okay, they're struggling with life like you, yeah. You know, I was in a farm where even for the staffs, yeah, they were working so hard so that they can get a living, yeah. I'm sorry, hopefully get it. Yeah, I'm trying my best, because today I was here in the hospital, checked, done the entire thing. I was they checked my the weight. Have not lost weight. They took my, we call this pressure was okay, no worries about pressure, so everything was going on well, yeah, with nothing, yeah, because the doctor is telling me that nothing is affecting me, because even the doctor started making fun, telling me, How comes you are sick, then you can't feel, you can't, yeah? You can't, because for me, I'm sick, but I eat normally. I sleep normally. I wake up during my time that I usually wake up, you know, I'm an early waker. So I wake up very early in the morning, as usual, yeah? Because there is a time in the midnight when it reaches maybe 5 in the morning. You get that I'm up so that I can do some 1, 2, 3 things, yeah, to call the day to be proceeding, yeah? So when I visited today hospital here nearby, I was given some drugs with me here. One of the drugs, because like today I woke up, I was like coughing, yeah, I was coughing. So I was given these, okay, these drugs I'll take, because at least they have written something about this drug, yeah. This is paracetamol, yeah, the painkiller. This is paracetamol. So I'll be taking this drug tonight. I have to take them because at least there is a prescription, there is a drug for there is a prescription here, then there is the drug name here. So that means for this drug I'll be taking this drug. This is one of the drug I was given today when they tested for brucellosis and malaria. Then there is this other drug that we call prednisol, yeah? This one, prednisol. This is another drug that I've been given today. I'll be taking this drug, yeah, 1 times 2. So that means I'll be taking in the morning and in the evening. Like today evening, I have to take this drug. I have to take it. So it has the name and it has the prescription, yeah. For this type of drug, I'll take before I sleep. I have to be full first in the stomach or storage, so you have to eat well, then you take this drug. Then the last drug is here. It is called azithromycin, yeah. This is an antibiotic, yeah. Azithromycin. I don't know how I can put it so that we can read it, yeah. Yeah, this is azithromycin, yeah. This is azithromycin. So this is a antibiotic, yeah, because I complained about coughing, yeah, because I've coughed today for some time, so I'll be taking these drugs. So those are the drugs that have been given today here in the village from one of the hospitals. So that means I'll be consuming them, yeah, because the way you can see my eyes, you can see the way my eyes are, yeah, red in color. I look, yeah, I'm shaking, you know. I'm talking, but I'm shaking. Like now, I can feel some stomach pain. I don't know what is happening. I don't know if it is the drugs that are the painkillers I took before I went to the hospital, because I took some painkillers because I was dying. I was in the house sleeping. Yeah, I was sleeping in the floor. So I had to get out of the house so that I can go to the hospital. I went to the hospital. As usual, you have to make payment. Okay, I go through the process in the hospital, which was successful because, yeah, it was very successful. Yeah, yeah, it was very successful. I never had anything like, I can say, some challenges when it comes to finances, because, yeah, here in Kenya we have a card called SHA. I have a good friend of mine who assisted me in using the SHA for my medication, and I really appreciate him. Yeah, he's called Wilberforce. I used his SHA to get myself better, so I have to appreciate him, because with no him I couldn't be treated up to now. Yeah, congratulations. I see a dollar sign. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I'll be talking about that. Yeah, I'll be talking about that. Yeah, if it is not today, maybe the next day, because today I was talking about unexpected what was happening to me when I was in Eldoret. Yeah, I have a dollar sign there. You can see a dollar sign, which is much appreciable. I really appreciate, because it is hard work. Yeah, the last 2 months, yeah, I joined the YouTube the last 2 months, and I've been pushing through. Yeah, I'll be telling you how I achieved these hours in a short duration with no bigger backups, because the way things happen. Yeah, you might go somewhere, somebody does for you, maybe shout out, people boost you, people do this, but me, I was traveling a lot so that I can get my audience. Just 2 months, yes, I've achieved these actually, you know, okay, I'm not monetized, that's the reality, but when I check to my watching hours, they are up. Yeah, I've surpassed, I'm almost 4,300. Yeah, but they are now counting slowly, they are counting now slowly. So here down in the currency, 3,300. So that means they're being get updated. Yeah, I've already applied for everything. They have applied for the pin. I've applied for all those stuffs about YouTube. Yeah, I got some friend who assisted me about applying those all things. So I'm lucky enough. Yeah, I'm lucky enough because I knew where a lot of people are focusing. Yeah, I was after watching. When you see me from the village to Eldoret, because like you can see the last video I did, that video went viral. That's the reality. That video gave me more than 1,000. There is a video 3 days ago. That video went viral. It is now almost 900 watching hours, and it is still going up. When you look at the views are there. Today was around 6,000 and something, but it is still climbing up. Yeah, it is still going up. So that is one of the video that boosted me to that threshold. Yeah, I have to appreciate, because so that means even though I went there, actually that was my first video I did in Eldoret. Once I reached that Eldoret this way, I did that video, and I posted that video the day that I was coming from, when I was sick. Yeah, I posted that video. I was like, let me post this video the way I usually post video. I posted it and left it there. To my surprise, I was looking at that video this way. From my first post, the way I posted it this way, I saw it in the last 1 hour. It was around 60 views. Going 2 hours, it was climbing almost 300. 3 hours, it was climbing. I was like, what is happening? Yeah, I was like, what is happening? Going 1 day, within 1 day, was having 100 watching hours within 1 day. Before, in the evening, yeah, I posted that video around 5 a.m. In the next 10 hours, I was at 100 watching hours. I was like, what is really happening? I was just observing that video this way. I slept because I started being sick where I was. So I slept. When I woke up in the morning, I got that video 200 hours. I was like, what is happening? Yeah. Then I tried observing that video the whole day. What is happening to this video? Then reaching the day before yesterday, was seeing it around 400 watching hours. What is happening? Yeah, and it's really pushing. Yeah, today I've just been observing it. Even though I posted some few videos, short videos, but that video has done that word is hard. Yeah, it has done. That is one of the best video I've been having. Okay, I have some video that have surpassed the threshold of 5,000 views, but that one, it is still moving. So that means it has not reached its optimal. So it is still pushing. Yeah, it is still moving, because it's the one which has done. That's why I have the dollar sign there, because of that one video that has pushed me to that end. Yeah, but I still have some other good videos from the benchmarking that I'll be posting very soon. Yeah, I couldn't be posting when I'm sick, because I'm not feeling well. I'm not really feeling well, because you know, when you post some video, you have to follow up, because you require bundles to post a video. Yeah, I'm exhausted in terms of financially, because I've used a lot of finances when I started my treatment in Eldoret. I used a lot of finances, because I went to a private hospital, because I was alone. I was all alone, because the farm is around 40 kilometers from the town. Yeah, so that means nobody could come from the farm so that accompany me. Nobody could come from the farm to accompany me to the hospital, because those people are very busy. Yeah, you'll be seeing from those videos that I'll be posting, because even some of the videos you can see me, I'm not happy. Sometimes I'm catching my head this way. I have to struggle to do this content creation thing. Sometimes when the farmers like, should I leave this content creation because I'm just struggling? Yeah, I was just struggling. I was like, should I leave this content creation, because you can see I'm straining a lot. I'm not used to this stuff, but because I have an ambition, I was telling myself, I have to achieve my objectives so that I can maybe pause. I can pause a little bit, then I proceed. Yeah, because yeah, so I was there in the hospital. I used a lot of money because it is a private hospital. I had to go to the doctor for consultation. I had to be taken samples, blood test samples, so that they do the analysis and know what is happening to me. Yeah, if some people are telling me that maybe when you left the village, there are some people following you. You know, one thing about me, I don't believe on witchcraft. I don't believe on witchcraft, really, because even I was to tell that doctor, I don't think you should be telling me something about witchcraft, because you are a professional. Yeah, when you integrate between professionalism and this witchcraft, they don't form anything, because yeah, you told me maybe your people are talking ill about you because there some people told me maybe some people are seeing jealousy because the YouTube channel is going. I told him, yeah, you know, even back in the village, yeah, I'm not the first YouTuber. We have a lot of YouTubers. Nobody will see jealousy to me. Even if somebody sees jealousy to me, he'll be following me with pangas, not with herbs or witchcraft, yeah? Because me, one thing I believe in, I don't believe in witchcraft. Even what you do, it does not pertain me at all. Even you tell me that somebody is following me, I won't listen to you until when I'll see in my eyes that this person is chasing after me. I won't believe in those, because even when I'm back in the village, yeah, some people are telling me, or did you do some people jealousy about you because they don't want to see your growth. Yeah, they don't want to see your growth. That's why they're following you. I told them, no, to hell, because nobody will follow me, because somebody's growth, somebody's successfulness, it is because of the hard work. Yeah, it is because of my hard work. I have been traveling because in this journey, yeah, I'm 2 months in YouTube, but I've traveled to Eldoret. Imagine, I've traveled to Eldoret 4 times. So that means after every 2 weeks or 1.5 weeks, I rush to Eldoret so that I can do some good content, so that my audience, yeah, will be like viewing me, seeing what I'm posting, so that they can follow me. Yeah, because I have to appreciate, because even the subscribers are moving. Yesterday alone, I added more than the last 2 to 3 days, I added more than 100 subscribers. Yeah, so that means this YouTube channel is growing. It is growing well, and I have to appreciate that. Yeah, I know some of the subscribers are here. I really congratulate you. Even I'm clapping for you guys. Yeah, I'm clapping for you because you are just doing tremendous job to me, because you people have been watching me. You people have been following me. You people have been guiding me. You people have been showing me this path on how to follow the right route. Yeah, because most of them tell me that be consistent. Yeah, to be successful in this YouTube journey, you have to be consistent. Yeah, you have to plan your work this way. Yeah, I had to rush all the way to Eldoret so that I can plan my working, because I saw some videos. Yeah, they were making very good watching hours with that video. So that means I had to boost my channel through that, so that I can be monetized. Yeah? So hopeful, before we complete this week that we are starting from tomorrow, before we reach next weekend, yeah, I'll be monetized. The only thing that I'll be waiting for is about the pin. Yeah, I'll be waiting for the pin. Raining is falling heavily. Yes, the rain has started falling here. That's the reality. It has started raining. You can hear some noises. Yeah, there is no ceiling board here on top. Yeah, so rain has started falling heavily. That's a reality. So we can get some obstruction here and there, some noises here and there. What I'll do is just to increase my voice upwards, so that this rain cannot intercept my voice midway. So I can just raise my voice so that I can conquer. Yeah. Remember, one thing that I usually do is I usually I accept how things are. Yeah. When I was telling a good friend of mine yesterday. Yeah. Nowadays, I'm just like a coward. Yeah. If you frighten me, I run. If you come, even if 6 years old carries for me a stone or a panga, I run away because I don't want to break my bones because of a fight. I run away. In Swahili they say kunguru muhoga ukimbiza mabawawe. So that means a frightened, we call kunguru crow that has a white line. There is that bird that has a white line in the chest, and the body is black. When it sees a human being picking a stone from down, it vanishes, it runs. That's the way I behave because it senses danger. Because you can't be taking stones for me, then I stand. I have to run. That's the world I'm living nowadays. Wewe ni kuku. Yeah, me, I accept. Mimi ni kuku. That's a reality. Yeah? If you just scare me a little, I run. Yeah, I don't oppose anything. You tell me go right, I'll have to go right. Go left, I have to go right, because at the end of the day, life matters. Yeah, at the end of the day, life matters, and I really appreciate that, because God is trying to transform me. At least people see you like a coward, but you are there scared. At the end of the day, you'll be the winner, heartless, no injuries. Nothing has happened to you, and I'll be there running, yeah. So let me just tell you what I learned from what I learned with Roger Skillia. Boom, Forever Humble. Yeah, I can see Forever Humble is here with us. Roger Skillia, Forever Humble is here with us. I have to appreciate he has joined us. Yeah, in this live. Yeah, Kaka in English we call Kaka in English brother. Yeah, Kaka in English we call Kaka in English brother. So these are two brothers just knowing each other, how things are happening in their side. Yeah, they are good friends to me. They are good friends for themselves. Yeah, they like each other, which I really appreciate. Yeah, the way you live with people is the way people take you. Yeah, if you behave like this life is so hard to you, that means it will be getting hard for you. But if you say this life, you have to penetrate in this life. You have to do that. Yeah. So I was to talk about. By the way, this is something about my health issue. Has really affected my channel. Yeah, because like now, I've not done any video since I came back to the village, because I won't speak. I couldn't talk even at least today. I have that voice of talking, and I really, are you cold? Yes, today it is raining, so I'm feeling cold. Yeah, I'm feeling cold right now. I'm really feeling cold. Yeah, that's why you can see, even I would have been putting this hood here, but people would not see me. I would have been putting this thing here. Yeah, but let me remove here so that people can see my bald here. They can see this my forehead. Yeah, I was told that Africans have very big forehead to do this. Yeah, that's the way we were created. Yeah, with a big forehead. Yeah, that's the way we are. So I like about that. Yeah, because I'm really feeling cold. You can see I'm now somehow shivering. That's why I don't think if I'll finishing 1 hour talking, I have to do some bit of minutes so that I can wind up the video, because I'm just telling you people what was happening to my health. Yeah, I'm not stable, because now I can talk well, but what I'm sure, tomorrow morning I'll be waking up feeling East Africa forehead. Feeling I'll discuss about that. Yeah. So tomorrow morning, I know I'll wake up very early in the morning. I'll be feeling headache. I'll be having a staggering movement. I'll be moving like somebody who was drunk changa. You know changa? Forever Humble. Do you know what is changa in Kenya? This is a traditional liquefier. Liquidifier. I don't know if it is liquidifier or liquefier. Yeah. We have a traditional liquor here we call changa. I wish you'd have seen me today morning. I left a friend of mine. I went back to the house to sleep. I slept for around 3. Okay, okay. Let me first discuss about East Africa forehead. Yeah, you know the origin of Africa when the way we were told in biology. Yeah, that we started from, I don't know, Homo habilis, Homo sapien, where we were having something like a forehead. Now it is now moving back. Yeah, in the next centuries, our forehead will be starting from here towards here. So don't worry. We are now we are still evolving. Yeah, we are still evolving. So that means through that process, yeah, because now I don't know, we are now Homo sapien, or we can call ourselves. So this forehead will be coming here. So that means it will be moving backwards. So you'll be seeing us as foreheadless. Okay, let me read this. What is happening? Let me read this text so that I see what is happening. Yeah, yeah. Ndio. What about the impregnation of the cow? Yes, actually, there is a video I posted about me impregnating a cow that we call the artificial insemination. That is the actually one of the modern ways on how we have other modern ways on how to do pregnancy. Yeah, both for human and for animals. Yeah, because we have something like in vitro. We have something like embryo transplant that is happening both in human and in animals. So I mean, people are just copying what is happening to you, to people. They translate that to animals. So that's why you can see me doing this way, yeah, through the parectum of a cow, yeah. You can see me doing this. That is called insemination, where you wear a glove. Then, okay, that reminds me. The reason why the doctors expected me to be having brucella is this. I told the doctor that I usually work on animals. He was like, have you ever touched maybe raw meat? Have you ever touched an aborted fetus? Maybe something aborted? I was like, yeah, sometimes, but I usually wear a protective thing, yeah. Most of my videos when I'm handling such a thing, yeah, you see me, I like myself, yeah. You see me, I have to put that protective thing so as to keep myself secured, yeah. I'm preventing myself, I'm wearing safety equipment. I really like that, yeah. What? Okay, this one I've answered. It knows Changa is a Kenya. Is he a Kenyan? No, Forever Humble is not a Kenyan, but I don't know who told him Changa, because he has been telling me that when he comes here, he'll be taking Changa. I told him, no problem. You come, I'll be escorting you to drink that Changa so that I can see how you'll be sleeping in the ditches. You'll be walking, staggering beside the road. Yeah, because there is nothing motivational when you see somebody who is drunk staggering, yeah, moving side by the road, especially when me seeing a Jamaican staggering, yeah. I've never seen a Jamaican face to face, yeah. Face to face, I've never seen a Jamaican. So it will be my first time to see a Jamaican staggering, drunk Changa. I'll be very happy to see that. I'll be making a content on that. Nzuri sana, nataka Changa. Yes, when you come here, if you need Changa, the traditional liquor, you'll be getting. Yeah, you'll be offered here a lot of Changa. We have a lot of Changa here, so you'll be getting those all Changas here. Foskai mambo VP, or that's what just agree. What about the 5 head? What are you talking about 5 head? Somebody has a head here, a head here, a head here, a head here, and another one here. So that is what? This is not a hexagon. It is called the 5-headed person. Yeah, I don't know. It is 5-headed. See, I don't know. It is pentagon. Pentagon shaped. Yeah. Somebody has a forehead here, another horn here, another horn here. Here behind it has protruded this way. It looks funny. Okay. Forever Humble loves Changa. So yes, it's a reality. Forever Humble usually talk about Changa. You'll be having a test for Changa, and I want to see you drunk. That's the liquor. I'll see you drunk about the liquor. Okay. Yeah, this is okay. Poor sana Forever Humble. Okay, Rogers. How's your this this one? Rogers Kilia will be doing this in his channel. Will be describing how the forehead is. Me, I don't know. innocent about that. He'll be describing it. I don't know what he'll say. Yeah, it is very deep. It is very deep. Forever humble. Okay, but you have a head like this, eh? Like condoms. That is thin, eh? This way. Okay. Oh, use protection. Okay, you always use. Yeah, it's a must. People should be using protection. Maybe the head, when the head is just becoming that five-headed, maybe the semen, the ejaculate was trying to penetrate toward that corner, maybe after burst. So it was trying to penetrate. So it was squeezing itself so that it was just struggling to pass. So that way it was forming those hexagons, those pentagons. Yeah. Tirafraida, okay. You want forever humble to long love for Sky. Wow. Wait, what flavor? Cherry? Okay, I like cherry. Max. Are you a kissy man? Why? Yeah, I have genes for kissy. That's the reality, yeah. My mom, she's a kissy. My dad, he's a Korean. So I'm there between, yeah. I'm not 100% that I'm a Korean, but I'm there half caste. I'm there intermediate, yeah. So I have actually my genes for kissy is very strong, yeah. You know kissy in Kenya, we know kissy. I think you people are aware, yeah. Kissy does that thing well. Those poor cows, he went really deep. Yeah, the reason for me going deep, you know, the same as I don't want to quote the name of a human there, yeah. The same the way, you know, the reproductive system of an animal okay, the reproductive system of an animal, you can get that you know, once you put your hand inside there, you are trying to locate something that we call cervix, yeah. You get that there are some cervix that are here near the near the entrance, but you can get some cervix that just there deep inside. So for you to locate this cervix, you have to go inside, yeah, like that. You saw those animals were very huge, very big. So that's why I was just going deep, extra deep, because even if I will be having a stool, I could be on top of stool so that I can use my hand well, use my height well, so that I can get deep inside, so that I can do that palpation in a good way. What about busara? Yeah, busara is just a traditional porridge here in Korean community that a lot of people take. Yeah, because it is not addictive. That is one of the thing. It is not alcoholic, but it has to pass through some fermentation. They call it in a Korean language chimera. So there is a way that they do that chimera, and they do with we call them finger millet. There is a way they are crushing that finger millet in a traditional way, yeah, to make that traditional porridge, yeah. So it tastes very good, yeah. I've tasted, and I usually taste, yeah. But if you are not used to, you can puke, because it is very light, yeah. That's the reason I can tell you, if you like some things that are very heavy, so that means it will give you a hard time in consuming that. But I really appreciate, you know, these busara. That's even we have another thing called busa. Busa is now like the changa. It can make you high, yeah. You can feel high from the changa. So that means not busa. Okay, busa can make you high, the same as changa can make you high. You get samwaze. They have a specific pot. Then they have straws from that pot there. You see, one muze is sitting on that corner, another one here back, another one there, another one there. Then they are this way with that liquor here, this way. They are drinking it, yeah, with excited. They are not even talking. When you try talking to them, you can see, you can just see your hand. Their hands are just doing this way, yeah, yeah. That you shouldn't be disturbing it. Oh Lord, have mercy, Jesus, yeah. I knew there was some kissing going on here. Yeah, you have seen some kissing going on here. So that means I have some genes for kissing. That's a reality. Yeah, my mother comes from there. So that's a reality. That's why. Okay. So it's like to eat. Yes, I like to eat. You look like you eat everything. No, I have to be selective, yeah? If you want to, okay, if you want to take care of yourself, You have to be selective. You know what is good for you, what is not good for you, what you can afford, what you cannot afford. You leave it first, then you just work on what you know. Animal gynecologist. Yeah. Yes, when you ask me about reproductive tract of an animal, I can tell you the entire of it, how it looks like, how it feels like. I have it here, yeah? Because you know I never went to school about these things, but you know, through that palpation, yeah, somebody has to guide. Even if you go to school, yeah, somebody for the first time, somebody has to guide you. Can tell you this is the ovaries, it feels this way, this is the oviduct feels this way, this the uterus feels this way. When you go there inside, you can hear some, you can palpate some two horns, one going this way, one going over there. They are this way, yeah. So when you are getting inside, you get inside this way. Now here the ovary, you can feel one of the ovary here, you can feel another ovary here. Then here is when there's where they are separating. Then here behind here is when you have the uterus here. Then behind it, behind this uterus, you now get the cervix. After getting the cervix, now this is the opening that we call that name. Yeah, the vagina now it is found there. So that's how things happen. Okay. I've interacted with so many vets. Yeah? Actually, a lot of them, they are very happy when their hand is inside there. They feel extremely. They're telling you inside here it is very warm. Yeah, I don't feel like removing my hand inside there. So that's how people usually say that they don't feel like removing their hand inside there because it is slightly hot inside there. So that is what is happening. Yeah, to be realistic, that is what is happening. Let's like, yeah. Let's like, you can see we have 6 like. Let's continue liking so that even you can share this live so that people can join. Yeah, it is a, I have to appreciate because it is an interactive session that I'm responding to questions and answers. Can it make you drunk? No, 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 no. It can't make you drunk. It can't make you do that. Do you like heavy things or light things as a kissy man? For me, I don't like heavy things. I like petite things. Yeah, that's the reality. Yeah, something like, yeah. That, I know what you know what I'm meaning. Yeah, that size. Yeah, the way I'm doing my hands this way. Yeah, that means that's the size that I like. I don't like big machines. Yeah, for me, I don't like big machines because okay. Rogers, unakunywa changa. You know, I usually tell people that the origin of this changa it started in Kisiland, and that's the reality. Just know that today. And a lot of Kisi drink this changa. A lot of liquors are in changa. A lot of breweries, the traditional breweries, are found in this Kisi region. Yeah. So when you talk about these when you talk about this changa, so the origin was from that community. I don't know what they were making, yeah, until they discovered changa. I don't know what they were making. When last did you enjoy busa? For me, I've never drank busa. For busa, I've never drank because I've seen people drinking when I was young, but nowadays I've never access to it because okay, the changa part, a lot of busa, even for this region, yeah, there is a lot of busa in the other end. That is Tanzania. You know, here in the border post, we have a lot of busa there. Here in Kenya, unless those who sneak with those busa to Kenya and western part of Kenya, we have a lot of busa in western part of Kenya. So those two regions, Tanzania and western part of Kenya, we have a lot of busas there. Sema enthusiasm. Okay, I won't say this. This was not meant for me. Sema super calfla. Hey, okay. Let me brainstorm my head, then I say it. Sema super califragilistic expialidocious. I've said it. I feel sorry for your wife. Why? Why do you feel sorry for my wife? Specialist. Forever humble. I've never tasted changa, but I know how to go. I knew this Roger Skillia. I know that's why I've just touched something about this Changa in Kisiland, because we have specialists there. They're the origin. Even let's say in Korea land, yeah. When you see where there is a where we have we call them the origin of this Changa, you never miss a Kisi there. Or let's say out of 5 Changa breweries point, yeah, you can get 3 or 4 belong to Kisi. Those people have a lot of talent in making those things. They have a lot of experience, yeah. Even when somebody sells that Changa, somebody selling me, because like here we had a woman who was called Mama Kangina. She was a Kisi, yeah. She was making that liquor. Actually, she was the expert. The entire village knew her, because even the policemen were coming, they being given something small. She was not arrested. She was an expert for that. But unfortunately, she no longer exists. But she was an expert for that. But I saw you inside that. Yeah, my hand was inside. My hand was feeling some hotness there. I maybe some hotness there. Then I choose smaller machine over bigger. Yes, you are like my taste, yeah. Even for me, I choose smaller machines as compared to bigger machines because of some reasons. Because I like driving smaller machines. I don't drive the bigger machine, the Germany machines. I don't drive the bigger machines. Then Isakisi, he has the enthusiasm. Okay, guy, what is happening? Isakisi, okay. Me just something has happened. Okay, and two sim, black woman loves white king. Yeah, that's the reality. Black woman, they love white kings. The same. Okay, for Africans. Okay, you know, it depends on some individual, because in the village you can see even there are some people who have the white queens. It has been happening. We have a lot of them in Nyabuhansen. In Isibani, I've seen none. So that means there is yeah, it depends on your taste. If you like the bigger the white machines, you have to go for that white machine, yeah. If you like these our local ladies, our country ladies, you can go to them. Yeah, yeah, I can see. Oh, Edfed, welcome Edfed, I can see you here. You're the one who commented about black women love white king. That's a reality, because it's a real, it's true about that, because I've seen that happening. They really like, even some white people like these black slender ladies, yeah. A lot of white people like the slender ladies. I don't know why. I really don't know why. Yeah. Rogers, do you drink Mkomboti? Mkomboti? No, me, I don't drink that. I don't drink Mkomboti. We call it what is Mkomboti? You know, I don't speak Kikisi. I don't speak Kisi, but Mkomboti. Yeah. What now? Forever. What now? What is Mkomboti for Sky? Yeah. Make us aware about the Ankomboti, so that we can know what is Ankomboti, so that we can get learned about this Ankomboti. Then we appreciate about what is happening, because I like when African beer. Okay, African beer. For me, I've never heard about that Komboti. I would like to see it, have a taste of it, because I've not seen it. Yeah, we know only about Changa. We know about Busa. We know about Busara. Yeah. Rogers, define tafadhali. Yeah. Rogers can be knowing this very well. Yeah. He seems to be having a lot of experience about these guys. Yeah. You know, even you are making me happy. I'm not even feeling that coldness that I was having. Yeah. So that means things are moving well. Yeah. Things are moving well. Yeah. Things are moving well. With this session, because I can see I have no idea. Yeah, even Rogers, you don't have idea about that. Wow, so that means Fosky knows a lot of things about this African thing, huh? I'll I'll go and know these are uncomboti so that I have a taste about it. Yeah, never. I have no idea. Maxwell, since when? Yeah, me, I believe. Yeah, oh, you're an African. Yeah, I believe you're an African. Yeah, welcome being an African. We really like you because even me, I'm an African here, from here, Kenya. Yeah, because I was telling us because the journey for Eldoret teach me a lot of things, how things can be turning. Because you have to plan yourself before you travel. Yeah, you know me. I used to. I'm Saint Lucian. So you have to plan yourself before you get out of the village because you have to know where you are heading to, how you live, how you will eat, emergency money because you have to be having an emergency money so that when anything happens, yeah. For me, the reason why I had to run back home, yeah, one of the reason because I was only having transport remaining. So when I realized I was only having transport remaining and I was in Eldoret, I had to rush back to the village because let's say the transport I will have used that transport there. How will I come back to the village? It will I could now be calling people that help me because yeah, I could be calling people that helping me. I don't have what. So it me how it taught me on how to maybe it has taught me on how I should plan myself before I get out of the village. Yeah, even though person can promise you that he'll be hosting you or you'll be sleeping at his premise. Yeah, because when I was sick, I was told that maybe to go to one of the hospital. I told them no, I can't go to that hospital. I have to rush to Eldoret town so that I can seek medication. Yeah, so I had to rush to Eldoret. I went there. I spent a lot of money, even that was supposed to sustain me the whole week there. So I had to spend that money. When I remained with this transport, I had to rush back to the village, yeah, so that I don't exhaust anything from my end. Yeah, last month, Salop. What is this? Sebsu? I don't know what is happening here. I don't understand that. Why are you guys always sick? Yeah, for me, I have to submit because I don't have any illness with me. I've been done a lot of tests. Today was they did for me brucella test. They did to me malaria test, but it turned negative. So I was told they told me that it might be fatigue, yeah. Because okay, I realized since I started this YouTube, I've been straining, I've been thinking a lot. I've not relaxed on how to get money so that I can post a video because you know here in Africa we have to struggle, yeah. When you are just fighting for what you need, yeah, you have to struggle. Because I was really thinking a lot, yeah. My head was not relaxed. I have a friend that most of the times he was asking, "Are you not sleeping?" Because when he calls me in the midnight, I'm awake. I pick the call. When he calls me anytime, I'm awake. When he calls me that, at what time are you leaving the village? I'm telling him that I'm leaving this time. Yeah. So that means, so so that means, yeah, I was overworking to some extent. Yeah, I was overworking. So this is fatigue or a lack of sleep. It can be lack of sleep. It can be dehydration. Yeah, lack of sleep, dehydration. Because these are things that I'm trying to do what we call. I'm now trying to balance my electrolytes in my body so that I see if they will balance. Because you know, apart from balancing these my electrolytes, the reason why I had to go to the hospital is because I have to treat myself symptomatically. I have to deal with these symptoms, then proceed with these maybe making myself, because I'll be in a break for 2 to 3 weeks without traveling to anywhere. I'll be just relaxing, sleeping, enjoying here. And yeah, I've just put my zoning. Yeah, I've just did what we call zoning. I'll be moving the extent that I'll be living. Yeah, I'll be living maybe 3 kilometers around. Yeah, I won't exceed 3 kilometers. So that means the farthest I can go to this route, I'll be going to Nyabuhanse. Here in my back, maybe in Tanzania, and I'll be back. Here we have a place called Tarawiti. This other place we have a place called Nyamwini. So I'll be rotating that way, yeah. I'll be rotating. I won't go further where I need a vehicle or what. No, I'm not going anywhere. I'll be relaxing for 3 good months, 3 good weeks, so that to relieve myself, yeah. Why are you guys always sick? Yeah, it is not our wish, because for me it wasn't my wish. It happened. The videos that will be coming, yeah, the video that will be coming, you'll be seeing me maybe touching my head sometimes. Sometimes I'm feeling pain. I'm like exhausted. I don't have energy, but I had to do it. Yeah, I had to do it because maybe I was thinking a lot. Where will I get money? Yeah, where will I get money in this my head so that I can post those videos? Yeah. Okay, Max, you sound like a Saint Lucian. I don't know. Okay, exactly. Doesn't sound like an African. Why? Why do you say I don't sound like an African? I'm a real African. A villager here. I learned till Form 4. Yeah, even though maybe I'm trying to speak English, but I'm trying. I don't know English. I'm just trying to speak English. I'm not to that perfection. So I really appreciate that. Earlier, Joel said he was diagnosed with stress. Yeah, because overthinking. Yeah, yeah, because when you just struggle with life, maybe you are thinking here, you are thinking how people, not people, how maybe you are the one who make the family eat at the end of the day. You have to struggle, yeah, because here in Africa, sometimes you don't have even a penny in your pocket. So what will you do? Will you go and steal? No, you have to think on the ways of how to get this money, yeah. You have to think otherwise, yeah. You have to open your networks, yeah. Where will I get this money? You sit there, you think so much, your brain get exhausted, you lack sleep, yeah. Maybe you guys can collab or stress together. No. Why should we collab or stress? For me, it's just fatigue, yeah. Just tired because I've been straining. Okay, I don't have stress, but I've been straining, yeah. To get these videos, I've been going sleepless nights because when you are in somebody's farm, yeah, you have to milk with them until when they will be going to sleep is when you get out of that business, because you have to milk with them. That is what I was doing, yeah. I was there milking with them the whole day. After finishing milking, then is when we go sleep together. We go sleep, yeah, we go sleep. Then the following morning, even you will be seeing some videos I was doing at early morning, because I have to show them that even though I've come for content, because they found that I was a shamba boy, yeah? Even though I've just come for content, I have to work so that I can prove myself. I'm still I can still work, yeah. You know, the next time they will be telling you that your work is just coming here, do content, then you disappear, you don't even buy for us. But when you work with them, they feel very happy, because for me, they were asking me, even now they're calling me, they're asking, Max, are you feeling well? I'm telling them, okay, I'm not feeling well, but I'm just struggling so that I can be well. And that is what is happening, yeah. I have to do what I can do so that I can feel better, because in this 1 week remaining, I have to struggle so that I can be better, back to my feet, yeah, because I'll be very happy, because maybe in the end of this week I'll be getting monetized, because things are getting updated, yeah. Okay, I've hit the threshold in the watching hour there up top, but here down, valid watching hours after verification, they are now being verified, yeah. They are being done, they are being saved so that to be verified. So are these views true views, or what is happening with these views? So they have to verify those things before I get money. Maybe the next 5 days I'll be there, and I'll be telling us of what is happening. What do Africans and it's fun, bro. Just in 2 months you have done what other people have spent in years. Yes, because the reason why I just did this in an easiest way, because before even I ventured, yeah, before even I ventured to YouTube, I first identified my niche. What will I be doing? Yeah, what at least I have some knowledge about. I saw myself, I can't go to the kitchen maybe cooking, no. I don't have money maybe to do charity, no. Why can't I be advising people about animals, about farming? Then with that, at least I'll be seeing things happening in the right way, yeah. That's the only secrecy I have, because that is what made me to be monetized, yeah. Because I just identify my niche. Then actually, after identifying it, I had to stick that way, yeah. I was not cornering this, that I go cook here, then I go this other side, I go travel here, because in my journey you don't see me telling us that I'm in Eldoret town, this is how Eldoret town looks like. No, unless I was heading to a farm, I'm telling you I'm heading to this farm to do this and this. But you won't get me that I'm showing you Eldoret town. Yeah, it is good I show people Eldoret town, so that to be appreciated the way Kenya is growing, yeah. But I stick to my niche, yeah. I knew what was I up to. Another thing is about hard working and dedication. I dedicated myself. I had to struggle sleepless night, because I remember my first video that I did about animals. It was in a midnight where I went to help a sheep to lamb. Yeah? It was midnight. The legs were the head was out, then the body was inside. The farmer told me that that lamb is standing inside the stomach of that sheep. I was like, what is really happening? Yeah, how can these lambs stand inside? I started my content that way. Yeah. When they did that content, I came back to this farm. I was now doing what we call, by that time I wasn't even able to talk to the camera. I wasn't even talking to the camera. I was doing what we call voice over. I was now looking at that video. I was speaking the way that video is going. I was saying, this is how I'm doing it. I'm proceeding this way. This is what is happening. Yeah. Then after that, I proceeded. Yeah. I now knew on how to make, maybe how to edit video, but I was not to my perfection. I struggled because I started making maybe a video maybe at night. Yeah? Most of the times I was making a video at night. When somebody is passing, I could have that what I was editing, because I don't want those people to hear my voice. But nowadays you can see me just freestyle, holding my camera. I was putting my phone this way. Now I was told that even the reason why I had to delete that video, because my phone was this way. Yeah. My phone was this way. I'm coming. Just like 10 minutes I'm coming. So my phone was this way. So I was just talking this way, yeah. I was talking this way. So I was told one day, just met other YouTubers in Nyabohanse. A certain lady told me, why are you holding that phone this way? I told her, I'm just trying to take an audio from this young man grazing, yeah. You know, if you tell somebody that you are holding it this way because you don't know how to hold a camera, people will laugh at you. So just telling him, relax, I'll put it this way. So I placed it this way. So my first video, when I placed it this way, when I went to edit, I saw these things are joining freely, because initially I had to go compress. When I was viewing those photos, you can see they are half in the screen. So I learned about that. Yeah? It can be frustration. Okay, yeah, it's true. Would you believe they wouldn't get sick so often because they eat organic? You can be eating organic, but something like stress, overthinking comes naturally. Yeah, you can get these things are now they are now synergizing themselves. They are building up. Yeah, they are doing this way. They are connecting. After connecting this way, they are now exploding this way. So that means it can be synergism, but at the same time, yeah, they oppose each other. Yeah? Define organic. Organic are the traditional ways of eating. So that means, like here in Africa, we eat something like we call maybe the spider plant, the black nightshade. Yeah, those things, huh? And we don't use a lot of fat. Sometimes we boil, then we eat it raw. Sometimes we know the traditional way. That is what we call organic. Yeah, we don't add the modern flavors, maybe the likes of flavors, the likes of what. Yeah? We just eat them the way they are. We boil, then feed on them. It's using all these fertilizer organic. Yeah, okay. There is a video that Lucas the driver posted today where he was in one, Africa, they're now copying the Western, maybe the European countries. So that means the use of fertilizer is being applicable in Kenya, because by use of fertilizer they get that these crops but germinate very fast. So people have started now, because it has become too much. No, the European countries now are coming back. They're telling us we can now go organic way. So there is a topic about organic way there, about there is one of the not even facilitator, one of the company, look at the Trevor's posted today, they were being trained on how now to go organic way, yeah, so that they can do things the other way, yeah, so that they can do things the other way, yeah. Yeah, natural thing, natural foods, not processed. Yeah, much of these are natural food. They don't go maybe to industries. They don't get processed. So that means you take something from the garden to the sufuria. Sufuria, the dish where you cook, the pan where people cook. So that means you get what is in the shamba in your garden, then you take it into that dish. You cook it from that point, and what you use in your farm, yeah, you use the organic, something like a manure, so that you can raise those crops. Then you can be in the organic way, yeah. That's the organic that we are talking about. They all use chemical fertilizer. That's a reality, yeah. You know, when you see something working better without looking at the negative impact of that thing, yeah. All of us have been looking at the positive part, where we using these organic inorganic maybe fertilizer, people get bumper harvest. When you get bumper harvest, well, that means you are in real business, yeah. Even if you plant your crops in a organic way, and this one planted in organic way, if that tin of maize is 100 bob, you have to sell it in that 100 bob. So due to competition, you have to do that. You have to go organic, because you see this fertilizer you can use in a small quantity, then you get a bumper harvest. Yes, small homestead sometimes use just manure, but they all mostly use chemical fertilizer. Yeah, like here in Kenya, not like here in the village, most of people, they can't afford. Actually, they can't afford what we call the inorganic foliars, inorganic fertilizer, inorganic, let's say deep. They go natural ways on how to do farming. So that means they are trying on their level base, so that at the end of the day they got bumper harvest. And how can you get this bumper harvest? You start maybe decomposing your manure for some time, so that you can take this manure to your shamba at good time. Then you let it decay in that farm. You incorporate it with the jembe, with the soil, so that when you plant your crop, yeah, it will be flourishing, yeah. It will be coming up very, very smoothly. I always believe they use the various herbs to combat illness. Yeah, it's a reality, yeah. Like here in Kenya, one of the most trusted people with the herbs are the Masai, because it is only that I've not seen a Masai guy passing here. I will have bought that medicine, because what I'm feeling, I wish you will be in my body, yeah. What I'm feeling is just my body is deteriorating. So that means I'm not stable to the way I used to be. So that means things will be working, yeah. Things will be working, yeah. I'm just observing that they are sick often. Okay, to be realistic, me have been sick. You have not seen me anywhere asking for money. You know, some people be sick because at the end of the day they need money, so that they can be funded with money, so that they can pretend being sick, so that they can get funding for this. But no way in camera you have seen me asking for money, that I'm sick, please help me, I'm crying on the camera. No, I just put my photo there. I never request for any funding, and I'm here live. I'm not requesting for any money. But I know if you, okay, I don't want it will be like hate speech. I don't want to speak about that. Collins Mutosi, hi brother. Hi brother too. Welcome Collins Mutosi. It is just a question and answer. What you asked, you are being given. You are being given, yeah? You are being given. You milk simultaneously. You have them, you sleep. Yeah, that's a real, yeah? Hi brother. Oh, you milk simultaneously. You milk, then you, yeah, here what happens, yeah? I have that video where I'm telling us the specific time that this milking takes place. Like that farm, they milk thrice. They wake up early as 5 a.m. In the afternoon, milk at 1 p.m. In the evening, they start milking at 6 p.m. So after milking, they feed the animal. So that's how things happen, yeah. You know, that work made me run away from that job because I was Shamba boy there. I ran because I worked there for how many years? But I had to run. Now I'm a content creator, yeah. I'm now struggling with this content now. See if things will be happening. If it is not happening, I'll still run. Go to see where I can get money because at the end of the day, we are now searching for money, yeah. Yeah, I'm trying now to see because I'm almost there, yeah. See is I'll be monetized so that I'll be having money. So that's what is happening. You milk then sleep. Even sometimes you don't because you get from the shamba, you start milking at 6, you end milking maybe at 9. Then you feed these animals at around 10, 11. When you milk 10, 11, you go sleep. At 4 you're up, you start the journey going back to the farm. You're not even sleeping. Yeah, so that means you get exhausted, you get tired, you become sick. Sometimes rain is raining, you are being rained on. So things are hard here in Africa, yeah. Things are really hard, yeah. And you'll be seeing some videos here how things are happening. Things are not going the way people think, yeah. Even if some people want to venture to this farming, yeah, they are not. These things are not happening in a simplest way that people think they're helping, yeah. I take 5 days for studio to. It takes 5 days for studio to update. Yeah, it takes 5 days, yeah. So me, I had hit the threshold. It was yesterday. So hopeful before Friday or before. Let me just say I'm not in a rush. Yeah? Before the weekend, maybe I'll be monetized. Then I'll be getting PIN because I applied for PIN. So I'm waiting for those things. Yeah. Same niche. Niche. Let me just say, is it niche or niche? Yeah. So my niche is basically about animals. I usually tell people that I like animals. That's my niche. You're right. Keep moving. Yeah, that's the reality. Because here in Africa, a lot of jealousness, a lot of selfishness, a lot of proudness. Yeah, when people have been monetized, you know, we have a lot of challenges. Yeah, because you go to somebody maybe to do a shout out, people is just looking at because you are a smaller YouTuber, they'll be looking at you like this way. Who the hell need? What does this person need from here? Yeah, I want assist. Yeah? Sometimes they accept. Once they accept, they don't post your video. They don't post your video. So you'll be like, let me see. Yeah? I did a shout out in this month's channel. Let me see where I appear so that I can see how I was talking. You go there, you miss your voice. It has happened to me twice. And that's the reality. It has happened to me how many times? Twice. But I respect myself. Huh? I've never told that guy anything. I kept quiet. I pushed through my effort. And you keep moving. Yeah? Never depend on any other for your growth. That is what I usually tell people. Never depend on any other purpose. Because you know, when you are new to this YouTube journey, you're being told that do this, do this, do this. You meet even con people, somebody telling you that I can help you obtain these. I had a lot of people from Nigeria telling me that they will help me get monetized for a week. I'm lucky enough because I was not having money to offer them. I never gave them money to work on my, because those are just con man. This journey is very tough. Yeah, it is very tough. It is not something that you can just wake up one morning, then you see miracles happen. No, you have to. Because I remember I started with one video. I used to tell people in the farm, yeah. I used to offer Wi-Fi to those people in the farm. I told them, yeah, I'm opening Wi-Fi. Just put all your phones here, 3 phones, yeah. Just keep them. Watch my video. The way I'm editing and posting, just watch my video so that I can get these. Then when I saw the channel now, at least in some level, yeah, so I had to now knew how things are now working. I now had to push, look for contents, look for what, and it keeps you moving, yeah. So that's the happiness about YouTube. Yeah? You might struggle, but once you identify your niche, you know, things will be happening. You look here, something good will be happening, yeah. Yeah. You will shine, bro. Yeah, thank you. Life with Makori. Hello, everyone. Yeah. Hello to Life with Makori. Welcome to this house for today. Hello, Makori. Yeah. Makori Jambo. Hi, Makori. Yeah. Is Kissy connection here? Makori. Makori is a Kissy name. I'm afraid to say that. Makori is a kissy name. Yeah, that's a kissy name. Makori, my chicken. Which chicken? You people, you have an issue about chicken, or what is happening about chicken? Or is Makori your kuku? Yeah, you know kuku as the chicken. Yeah, life with Makori forever. I'm here, my brother. Yeah, what chicken? Makori, is Maxwell your cousin? No, I don't know Makori, but I'm his brother. Actually, I'm his brother. You know, we call okay, but I don't know, because when you try to connect these, maybe the kissy, one day you'll be going there, you get that you might be related somehow. So we never know. Maybe I can say we are not cousins, but maybe we are related. So I can't justify that. Make sure let's like this video for today so that it can keep moving, guys. Yeah. Makori, are we going to Machacha home for her sister Matanga? Yeah, be supportive. Go. I'll encourage you to go to support each other. But yeah, for Matanga you can go. But for celebration, just choose which celebration you are going to, because some celebration when you don't have money, you cannot be put in that high table. Yeah. Even if people, you know, African nature is that if people take you this way, yeah, this way, yeah, they will not be putting you in that upper table. So nowhere you are going for those maybe celebrate, but this one is not about celebration. This is a sad moment. Just go, then do this thing to them so that they can really appreciate for the condolence that you will be with them. If you use chemical fertilizer, you can't say you are an organic farmer. Yeah, that's a reality, because once you go the inorganic way, you are not organic no more. So that means if you want to go organic, yeah, you have to stick to that organic. Use all things that are made organic way. If you want to treat your animal, go to the herbs. Pluck some herbs, go give your animal, you see if it will be ill, yeah. But you have to be conscious enough, because some of these herbs don't work, yeah. Yeah, because they are not proven. So be vigilant on the type of herbal you are doing. Life with well, I'm willing to go, but to be honest, I'm broke. Yeah, that's the African. We are almost always broke. That's the reality. We struggle with this life, yeah, to make this life get joining, yeah. It's very hard, yeah. I'm bankrupt. Yeah, we understand. This life is not easy. Even me, I had to go back to the village because I had no money. I was exhausted with finances. What do you say about farmers who add manure directly to the garden without first turning it into the manure? They will getting losses, yeah. The pests will be eating there, because we have some pests and bacteria in the soil, yeah, not in those manures, because you know the things, you know, that manure is fermenting, and this fermentation happens because of bacteria and some yeast. So they will be burning up, yeah. That's why you go to some garden, you see that they will have some brown patches, some crops have wilted, they are just drying up, because you never decompose this manure. You know, manure has to be decaying very well so that they can be used well. Yeah, okay, thanks bro. Utanipigia bro Rogers. Yeah, he'll call you, yeah. He'll call you so that you can organize, so that you can go attend them. But me, I encourage you, when somebody is condolencing, just make sure you go join hands. You help them put the person to rest in peace. Bro, CK, bro, I need heifer to start with in dairy journey. Okay, me, I'm a content creator. But what I cannot guarantee you that I have an heifer to sell. Yeah? I don't want to be a conman. I don't have to be called those big names. But I can direct you to some farms that they are my friends, so that you can get good heifers. Me, I don't have a farm. That's the reality. I'm just doing this for content. I'm not even a vet. I'm just a shamba boy with the gifted knowledge about animals. But I trust God, one day I'll be having my farm, yeah. I trust God. One day I'll be having my farm. So just go to my description, you get my contact, holler me, then I'll give you leads to where you can get somebody who can direct you. Me, I don't have to be realistic, I don't have. Kumbe huyu jamaa You are home. Okay. How much do I need for an AFA kwa hustle mdogo? CK, welcome to the house. They have just stated I don't have an animal, but I can lead you to where you can get, if you want maybe high producing animal, a budget of around from 100,000, you can get a good heifer, in-calf heifer. But if you have these other animals that if you tell me where you're coming from, I can give. If it is within the Rift Valley, I can direct you. If it is within Kiambu, Nairobi, I can. If you are coming from Meru, I can give you a guy there, so that they will assist. I'm giving you trustable people who can lead you to get these good animals, and with no, they can't fail you. Yeah. So you just tell what budget do you have, what type of an animal do you want, what maybe lactation period do you want. Then I'll give you somebody who will direct you without calling you. Yeah? But for me, I'm sorry, I don't have any animal. Those farms, I don't have a farm. But get me in the next 2 to 3 years, maybe I'll be having my farm. When you ask me if I'm selling animal, I'll be telling you, yes, I have, come for it. But for now, I don't have any animal with me. That's to be realistic. Yeah, that's the honest about me. Yes, but I can give you good channels on how to venture to that. Yeah, that's very true. Say hi. Yeah, Elvin Wera. Welcome here. It is my rabbit dog. Oh, okay. Elvin Wera. Okay. Let me just reveal something here. Elvin Wera, she's my sister, the one following me here. She's in Thika College. She's studying there. So she's doing education. So after here, she will be venturing to this teaching thing, yeah. She will be a teacher. So that's the realistic about Edwin Wera. She's my sister. When he just looked at my rabbit's dog, yeah, you saw me some rabbits there. Just an interlink between my smaller brother and her. They have some rabbit. Yo, the rabbits have gave birth. Yeah? They gave birth to three kindlings. So when you come back, you'll be getting those. Elvin, just like they're up, yeah. She's my sister. So I'll be winding this video from there because I'm getting exhausted, I'm getting tired, I have to go take a sleep. Enough for today. Till we meet again. Thank you for joining this live, which has been very interactive. Later, let me schedule when I'll be monetized. I'll be having a live, then I'll be advising how I achieve this monetized, because for now I can't tell that I'm monetized, yeah, until when I'll be monetized. I'll be seeing those. I was told something like dollars, yeah. I can't guarantee us that I'm monetized. So for now, I have to say goodbye to you for joining me in this session, interactive session. I've really liked, I've really enjoyed. Thank you for now. Till we meet again. Goodbye. Let me just cancel this live so that we can proceed. I can see For Sky. I can see heart from Roger Skillia. Take my heart. There was a heart from Life with Makori. Take my heart. Thank you guys. Yeah. Goodbye.